All
So,
right, let's start off. We already.
I was going to say, if it's just me, I'll try to keep it to an hour today.
Yeah, let's see who joins. Let's see what questions we have from the listeners as well, and we can take it from there. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of things that have happened in the last few days, and critically today, Tone. So let's start off, guys. Welcome to the Financial Summit space. If you haven't visited our website, do visit thefinancialsummit.com. So Financial Summit is a yearly event, and the next event is going to happen in Maldives in 2025, March 2025. So the tickets for the events are already on sale on the Financial Summit website. So do visit. If you do want to come, and if you have any questions, you can drop us an email, you can tweet us, and we can tell you more about the event, what to expect and what not. But in a brief summary, you will get to meet people from different industries: money managers, hedge fund managers, traders. You will have nutritionists, you will have best performance and enhancers, and all those different industry, different mindset, different people. A lot of chats happen, and trust me, the presentations and the chats are not just about trading. It's about a lot of different things, and it's so much more fun to be there. And obviously the poker nights are crazy as well. So yeah, do visit the website, and please feel free to book a spot for yourself for March 2025. So Tone, first day in the last, let's say, how many days, I don't know, like a proper, I think around a month, I can basically say that at least 2 to 3 weeks, first day where we are seeing a proper sell-off and no buying back. So there's not been a buyback happening there. We are not buying the sell-offs. It's looking like a red day. Are you anticipating the start of a secondary trend for Bitcoin from here?
Yeah, so this morning when we did the show with Matt McGregor on the Financial Summit YouTube channel, he was very concerned about today being a sell-off day, and he actually exited his trade. I was not concerned at all this morning about the price going down. I'm a little surprised it continues to go down without significant buying back. Let me look at the chart one more time. Every time I thought that, like I really thought that at around noon, the market was really rallying. It was going to go back up, and it would close us above 72 by end of day. Right now, we're still hovering above 70,000. The trading day is almost closed, but I'm still not crazy concerned. I mean, yes, on the daily scale, we've finally broken the prior day's low, which is something we actually have not done since March 5th. So for the last 10 days, in a 24-hour period, the low has been higher than the low of the prior 24-hour period. So today that trend broke, but look, as long as we're staying above 69,000, as long as we don't breach the lows of March 11th, basically, and the low on March 11th, I mean, we hit 67K. I still think we're fine. The week's coming to an end. I checked the first 3 days, and we're on pace for another week of ETFs buying up 30,000 Bitcoin. I'm really curious on a day like today, will it have a positive flow into the ETFs or a negative flow into the ETFs? But I'm still not that concerned. I mean, one of the things that's making me not very concerned is the fact that the MRI is on a 6 daily, it's on a 6 weekly, and it's on a 6 monthly. I mean, we are still smack in the middle of this bull trend. And yeah, I mean, the sell-off's so unfortunate. The S&P 500 is also selling off. But I don't know, if tomorrow we're breaking the lows of today, and let's say if tomorrow by this time we're sitting below 69, then I think this would be a bigger correction, maybe down to 66, 65. But I'm still pretty confident that in the next 24 hours, we're going to be back above 72.
I'm still like, I am basically not excited. That's a wrong word. I think I am happy that we are basically respecting the previous highs that were created, like the previous cycle high. And the amount of buying that's happening on those prices is looking really good. Like, it shows interest. It's showing that even 69,000 is an accepted price right now for people to buy in, whether it is retail, ETFs, or whatsoever. So I'm looking at that, and I'm basically excited about it. But yeah, personally, I'm expecting tone we go down to 63. If we close below 69, I think 63 in play. Break 63, well, then the 30 to 40% correction is in play. I think then we go further down, because don't see much over there until we start hitting those support areas. Would you agree with that? You're on mute, Tone.
Wait, sorry. Which support areas exactly?
So for me, I'm basically looking at, like, at this point of time, 63,000 for me is a critical place. It needs to be respected. And 163 goes away. I mean, 163 is like, if that happens, there's a big if, guys. It's a very big if. First thing, close below 69. Second thing, close below 63. If that happens, then I'm expecting price to be somewhere in the mid 50s. That is where the 50% Fibonacci level is for the current move up. And yeah, basically can look from there for the price to bounce up again if it has to.
Yeah, I mean, right now I am looking at that $68,000 mark. That's basically the high before the big correcting day. So when we corrected that 15% in a single day, the highest close the day before was around 68.5, or right just above 68. So to me, that is a critical level of support. And then the next level of support is the 20-day moving average, which tomorrow will be sitting at 65. So I think these areas will hold. I don't know, maybe I sound too bullish. Maybe I'm, have my bullish glasses on. I don't know. And I've been, writing this in a full 100% bullish position the whole time. The only time I took profit was on that daily MRI top right before we corrected 15%. Now back to 100% bullish. I was hoping would be around 78,000 or closer to 78,000 by Sunday, when the MRI gets toppy again. I think on Saturday we get an MRI top. Now we can also break the count. I really don't mind breaking the count. So if the next couple of days are consolidating, we'll break the count, and then we start a new count on the daily scale. And that would almost be even better, because on a daily scale, if we reset the count, now the next daily count will be very in line with the weekly MRI top. And I would rather it be, two independent daily MRI tops. So daily MRI top on a 1, not MRI top on a 2 for the second consecutive version. Yeah, so let's see where this goes. Tonight, I'm still bullish, but if tomorrow morning we're, breaking 68K, then I'm going to have to, put a little bit of a hold on that bullish plan.
And also we are seeing like a massive amount of short positions or sell positions which were building in the morning above the 74K mark. Like a lot of, like, I think I've just put the chart from CoinGlass into the Nest, and you can see that there was like massive sell wall which was building above the price. So that could be one of the reasons that we are seeing this sort of sell off. Like, guys, I mean, for everyone, it's always good for price to give a healthy correction, for it to gather momentum and then blast off. That's why there are many people who just trade Fibonacci golden pocket or 0.5 Fibonacci levels, because in any trend, as important as primary trend, which is your uptrend in this case, is secondary is very crucial to build up momentum. Tone, do you respect the secondary in the same way as other people in TA do?
Secondary, I'm sorry, what do you mean by secondary?
Secondary meaning that if the primary, if your normal trend is bullish, then upward movement or upward price action is your primary trend, and then the bearish price action which happens in the middle, those all the small corrections?
Not really. I don't really. I try not to. I try not to short in a bull market. So I don't generally.
Not from shorting perspective. From the perspective of the trend continuing towards the upside, like coming down to gather momentum and gather more liquidity to basically break the highs that it created before.
Yeah, I believe in that because the weekly trend is very bullish, right? So because I'm very bullish on a weekly trend and on a monthly trend, we've always hit MRI tops on monthly trends in all bull markets. In fact, the only bull market we did not have multiple consecutive monthly MRI tops was in 2021. And I think if China didn't ban Bitcoin mining, we probably would have hit a second consecutive monthly MRI top because we were really close. Back when the market turned in April, if it wasn't for China causing that problem, I think we could have hit a second consecutive MRI top then as well. And we're not even on the first monthly MRI top in this bull cycle. So I still think there is a lot of bullishness to go. I think it's just a bad day, just like we had a bad day on March 5th. And I don't think it's anything of major concern yet.
100%. I totally agree. And yeah, looking forward to what price does. So guys, let's celebrate today the bottoming of Bitcoin after the COVID crash. So March the 12th was the exact bottom of the COVID crash, which happened at around 3850. So it's the fourth year anniversary, and people might forget that it's been 4 years from that crash, from the COVID crash. So yeah, this was part of my document tone. So I just wanted to say it to everyone.
I actually find it so hard to believe that it's been 4 years since the COVID crash. Honestly, it feels like yesterday. Like I remember exactly where I was, which in my case was actually in South Africa trying to get a flight back to America. But I remember so vividly like that entire week that it feels like it was a year ago, not 4 years ago.
I hope it was a year ago too, and I would have loved to buy some more Bitcoin at that price. I would have loved it. But yeah, it is not a year ago. It's been 4 years. In 4 years' time, like if you look at S&P, yes, S&P has done very well. NASDAQ has done very well. But then you think 4 years back at this day, Bitcoin was $3,850. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $70,000. So guys, it's not a matter of days, a few days or something. It's just a matter of staying in the market, thinking about what the asset really is. Like a lot of Bitcoin maximalists like Tone himself and even MicroStrategy. Okay, let's go on to MicroStrategy, Tone. I mean, I'll give this lesson later, but let's go on to MicroStrategy because that's a fun thing, right? They came out with a convertible note offering, initially offered 600 million. One day after that, they tweeted, Michael Saylor tweeted out, we are now raising it to 700 million. One day later, he basically tweets out that it is confirmed for 800 million. And then 3 days after that, he again tweets out, we are raising another 500 million. Now, this guy has basically created a vehicle to be in the market, to be profitable as a firm, as an individual, that no other person thought about in terms of companies, at least big companies. You have also seen his interview, Tone, and his comments about what do we call people who hold their savings in fiat. That was quite remarkable. Your opinion on it, what did you find interesting about that interview? What do you find interesting about MicroStrategy's own strategy to acquire this much in Bitcoin?
It's a very bold strategy, let's put it that way. So Michael Saylor is really leveraging his entire company to purchase more Bitcoin, but he's also converting his company to be a Bitcoin research company. So his company is basically going to be more similar to Blockstream, for example, than his core product. And in a way, this could actually keep him out of the S&P 500 because I've thought about it some more. By market cap, they may be, they belong in the S&P 500. But the committee of the S&P 500 may look at it and say, well, he is completely overhauling his business model. So maybe we're not sure we want to put him in there in the S&P until a little more time goes by and this new strategy proves to be profitable. Now, I said this a long, long time ago, probably close to a decade ago, like in my early interviews. I said one of the best, let's say, investments would be to buy up a bunch of raise money, spend half of that money on buying Bitcoin, and spending the other half of the money on advertising Bitcoin, because then your profit is not from advertising itself, but your profit is your advertising Bitcoin, which will help the price of Bitcoin rise. Hence, you make a profit to your investors by holding half the money in Bitcoin and using the other half the money to advertise Bitcoin. And this seems to be what Michael Saylor is doing. And as the price of Bitcoin rises, and as he slowly becomes one of the richest men in the world, others are going to kind of want to follow, or they're going to want to find a way to stop him. And this is basically how the world changes. This is how 100 years ago, the richest people were in very different businesses than the richest people today, because technology evolves. And 20, 30 years from now, the richest people are going to be the Michael Saylors and not the Steve Ballmers, right? Because Bitcoin will just have to outpace them. The same person, the same family does not stay super wealthy for very long. I know there's lots of conspiracy theories about the Rothschilds and those families, but the richest people today are not them. It's people like Elon Musk. It's people like Ballmer. It's people like Bill Gates, because they built the latest innovative products for their time. And Michael Saylor is that next breed. And there's going to be other Michael Saylors, and there are, already a couple of early Bitcoin adopters that probably have more Bitcoin than Michael Saylor, or about the same. And there's still room for the next couple of people. But if one other company starts doing what MicroStrategy is doing, again, that skyrockets the price of Bitcoin.
100%, Tone. We don't even have to go back 100 years. I think if we go back before the dot-com bubble, the whole way markets work, even the economy relied on different industries to be able to provide. And in the industrial age, it was different. Like, it keeps changing. Now, one question I have, would this strategy, if proven right, to be honest, I feel it has already proven right. Like, from a company's perspective, if I'm buying Bitcoin and keeping it in cold storage, like thinking of it from Michael Saylor's perspective, what do I need? How many people do I need to employ to be able to do that? I don't think the expenses are too high. The expenses to income ratio is like, it's not lean. It's like not big. Like you know that the expenses are low, the income can be infinite. Now, how many big companies are going to look at it and say, maybe we can do this as well? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's very few companies that can do it to the extent that Michael Saylor is doing it. The only reason he can do it is, again, because he's pivoting his company to be a Bitcoin research company. And if they're going to do a bunch of Bitcoin research, and they're going to do a bunch of Bitcoin advertising and a bunch of Bitcoin promoting, then the best place for them to put their money is in Bitcoin. Because their entire job of their company is to raise the price of Bitcoin. Now, what these other companies could be doing is they could be putting some of their extra cash into Bitcoin for just for store of value purposes, instead of putting their money into, say, government bonds or other investment vehicles. But as far as leveraging their entire company and tying it to Bitcoin, I don't think anybody can do that. Again, maybe a company like Blockstream, but they're not a publicly traded company. Because it has to be a Bitcoin-related company. Otherwise, you can't justify doing what they're doing as far as leveraging everything and going into Bitcoin.
But then you have companies like NVIDIA who are making chips, which will be obviously used for mining purposes, who can maybe go into this direction and at some point of time, maybe not the same direction, but maybe kind of putting themselves, exposed to the Bitcoin market as a whole. What do you think?
Perhaps, but I mean, NVIDIA is so busy doing good things with their other product, they don't need to. Their stock is doing pretty well themselves. So,
100%.
But Tesla's got to come up with something, right? I mean, Tesla stock's been down for years now. Tesla's got to figure out a way to reverse their fate. So maybe Elon Musk made a mistake of buying 40,000 Bitcoin and then selling almost all of it, or 30,000 of it. I think Tesla still has 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, they acquired some more. So Tesla has started adding to their Bitcoin. Their basically numbers. So Bitcoin numbers are going up again. They've started buying. Not announced publicly, but I was looking at some of the things that were coming out, and one of the quarter end reports, Tesla's numbers are going higher again. As in they have started to buy again. So that's a good sign, I guess, for them. But yeah, Tesla is everyone in the industry, each and every investment bank fund has dropped Tesla's price targets. So basically, some of them are saying that Tesla might be sitting at $40 by the end of this year or mid of 2025. The price targets, which were previously sitting at around $800, $700, are now cut down to $300, $200. So they are not enjoying this market right now for sure, Tesla. But yeah, so let's
now remember, Tesla just a few years ago, Tesla had 40,000 Bitcoin. Right now they have about 10,000. Now Tesla could have added to that 40,000 Bitcoin. Tesla could have easily had between 60 and 100,000 Bitcoin right now. And had they had that, their stock would be doing significantly better because Bitcoin doubled.
100%, yeah. Tripled actually. Yeah, I was about to say Bitcoin tripled actually. But yeah, I mean, it's a decision that's made by key decision makers, and it did not work out well for them, and it's quite visible in their chart. It's looking terrible. Every day is a sell-off day for Tesla. I mean, I don't see a respite in selling. Apart, if we lose this area, the current area of 160 to 150 area, this whole block, oh my God, that's $100 next. There's no support after that. So good luck, Tesla. So Tone, now if we have hit Tesla, so Mr. Elon Musk, again, playing with the SEC or playing with the emotions of some crypto traders who love Dogecoin, and again saying, "Oh, I'm looking forward to a day that we'll be able to buy a Tesla car with Dogecoin." Do you really see this happening in the future? Do you really think one day you will be able to buy a car with a meme coin?
I mean, you can do it now, right? It's like in Dubai, for example, you can walk into any car dealership and you can buy your car with any meme coin, because they will just call a guy. He'll show up with a suitcase full of cash and he'll take whatever shitcoin you have. He'll immediately convert it into Tether or whatever. And he'll take your crypto. He'll resell it, but if he has to convert your Dogecoin, he's probably going to charge you an extra 1% fee for liquidity. I mean, you can do it. Like, it's just convergent, right? It's kind of like saying, can you walk into a dealership with Indian rupees and buy a car? I mean, the answer is yes, right? I mean, all you got to do is call a bank and they'll convert the currency for you. They'll just charge you a fee. So it's really irrelevant that Elon Musk is going to accept Dogecoin. It makes no sense. I don't know who's sitting on that much Dogecoin, because it continues to lose value against Bitcoin. But hey, if you wanted to lose, like Monero, for example, has lost, and Litecoin, they've lost 10 to 20 or 30%. I mean, sure, if you sat on your Monero for the last 2-3 years, and you're now 30% poorer, and now you decide to go buy a Tesla, I mean, yeah, you can bring your Monero, and some guy will show up and he'll convert your Monero into dollars and give it to the Tesla shop. So it's these are just currency conversions. And the question, the real question is where are you holding your wealth that it gets to appreciate? And Bitcoin is by far the safest and the best bet. Like I don't care if I can buy my Tesla in Bitcoin. What I care about is that before I buy that Tesla, the Bitcoin has gone up in value in my wallet. And it's irrelevant to me whether they accept shitcoins or not.
Will you ever be buying a Tesla, Tone?
I don't know. I might be buying a Tesla one day. I don't really have a car at the moment, but eventually, when I have a place to live, like in Panama, there's no Tesla. There's no Teslas in Panama. There's no chargers. I've seen like maybe 2 Teslas, and I've been there for a year. I have no idea where they're charging them. Probably charging them at home. And but yeah, it depends on where I'm living. Tesla is not out of. It's possible.
Cool. I heard that you're heading to Dubai for Token for 2049.
Yes, I'll be there for Token 2049 and Blockchain Life and a few other conferences in mid-April. I will be there speaking.
Nice. Hopefully we get to meet. I'm not sure whether I'll be there or not. Most likely Kapoor's going to be there. So hopefully you guys catch up. It's going to be a good event. And especially guys, FinSummit is the best one. But FinSummit is still a year away. So if you get a chance and you want to meet Tone, you want to meet other people, go to 2049 if you have time and obviously the money that needs to be paid. So yeah, do go there. So Tone, moving on from the Teslas, the MicroStrategies and everything, and a little bit more towards ETFs. The numbers are out for last week. What are you seeing, Tone? How are the inflows looking? How are the outflows looking? What is your analysis saying?
The inflows were very strong last week. So last week's inflows closed at over 30,000 Bitcoin was added to the storage of the ETFs. So on last week's numbers, we had GBTC selling 25,000 Bitcoin and all the other ETFs adding almost 60,000 Bitcoin, so 58,000. So that created a $33,000 inflow into Bitcoin. Now, this week so far, with 3 days in, we've seen GBTC sell 12,000 Bitcoin and all other ETFs pick up 43,000 Bitcoin. So this week, we are already an additional 30,000 Bitcoin being added to the ETFs. Now, what will be interesting is today, right? Because remember, when Bitcoin drops in price, then these ETFs tend to end up selling Bitcoin at the end of the day versus buying them at the end of the day. Now, I don't know how delayed a lot of these purchases are, but very curious how this week finishes. I think this week will still finish strong. And that's why I think the price will continue to rise, even though right now we are falling. We are down below 69,000. Wow, we actually just fell as I'm speaking. We've been at 70,000. We were at 70,000 when the show started, I think. Let me look at a 10-minute chart. Yeah, we fell about $1,000 in the last 20 minutes since we started this space. Yeah, it's starting to get on that concern level. I really thought we were rebounding for the day, and still not. Yeah, we're dropping lower. We've lost 69,000. So yeah, this could be a bigger correction in the making. My ultimate support is still around 68 right now. This would create like a $5,000 drop in one day. The last 2 times we did that, it rebounded really, really strong. So let's see what happens. But we are getting close to some critical support levels.
100%. I was looking at the chart as well, and yeah, my level is like, I am not concerned if we dip down. I'm being more concerned if we are trading there for a while. That's going to be what kind of gives me a little bit of scare. If we keep trading below that area. That's something that I'll be looking at. So, Tone, moving on to S&P and Nasdaq. Obviously, we are seeing a negative day today, but it's been a nice ride for S&P and Nasdaq. The weekly candle is looking totally ugly. It's a total doji, and yeah, I mean, as of now, the week is looking terrible. What do you think is the reason that this sudden uptrend is getting halted in Nasdaq as of now, or even in S&P?
I don't think there is a reason. I mean, nothing goes straight up. On a daily chart of the S&P, this is still going to be like the fourth or fifth highest close ever. We just made a new all-time high 2 days ago. Just like with Bitcoin, it's just a rough day. Bitcoin had a rougher day on March 5th. So let's see, we're already flipping the MRI count actually on Bitcoin. So this could reset the count, and which wouldn't be a bad thing. Again, if we start to rise, if tomorrow is a good bullish day, followed by the consolidation on the weekend, breakout next week, it's possible that Bitcoin has topped, but I think it's way too early to assume that Bitcoin has topped. The only way I would assume that it has a chance of topping is if today was a daily MRI top, but it wasn't. We're in the middle of the count. And this is why I exited on March 5th, early that day, because it was an MRI top. And the entire crash just happened within a single day, and it did fall 15%. So far today, we are down about 6%. So I don't know. I mean, you don't really. It's hard to explain. Like a market fell today. You don't really need a reason. Once the prices start falling in the early in the day, buyers don't step up, and it becomes a rough day for the market. It doesn't mean that the trend has changed. You still need a few more of those. You need to break some support levels, and Bitcoin has not even broken its support levels. So far, it's just a one-day correction.
No, 100%. I don't disagree with that. It's just a one-day correction as of now. We are trading below 69,000 as of this moment. So yeah, now like we are trading at that mark. I think it's a crucial mark. I think we should hold that mark. Any close above that, I feel, is going to give more momentum to price. Hopefully, even if it comes down, I don't see it as negative. It's a proper uptrend, guys. It's remember, play with trend is your friend. Play the trend. Do not try to go against it. This is not a movement to short the market. It is a movement to sit and wait. And if you have, if you intend to enter the market, if you intend to be exposed to Bitcoin, wait for the dip and then buy on a good daily bullish candle. So by the way, so when these dips happen, so this is a question which is not part of the document. This is normal TA and trading sense. When a dip really happens, obviously I know you use MRI to great advantage, and people have started using it as well. Guys, by the way, if you do not know, Tone has like amazing videos on MRI, like hours and hours of content that is there. And I haven't used a stronger indicator. I'll not call it an indicator. That's a very, I'm not respecting it enough. A stronger theory to trade on than MRI. So do watch those videos. If you understand it, that's amazing. And if you don't understand it, tag us in, tag the Financial Summit or tag Tone Ways with your questions. And I promise you, someone will answer them. So MRI is one of the best indicators we have seen in technical analysis from my perspective. Also, Tone, I remember you have this MRI alert service as well, right? If people do not want to really use the MRI on their charts, they can use the alert service.
Yes, they can, but I find the alert service to be more complementary, so you should still have the MRI on your chart. And I've been lowering the price of the MRI every year. It's now only $300. The alert service has a monthly subscription. I did not make the alert service a very creative user, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Consistent user of MRI decided to build out the MRI alert service for himself and is now offering it to others. And but yeah, it doesn't. I wouldn't say it replaces the MRI, but it's a great complement because a single person cannot scan thousands of assets that are potentially trading opportunities with with the system like MRI. So this is where the alert service helps. The website for that is tradingmri.com, and I do mention it on my shows every now and then.
100%. Guys, do visit. If you haven't seen, do watch those videos. It's really educating. So, Tone, last topic of the day, at least since it's a midweek space, is basically FOMC. We have the meeting next week. What are your expectations, and what are you looking at? What are you thinking they're going to do? Are they going to be cutting rates, or are they going to just, as the market expects, stay where we are?
I think they're not going to cut rates. I think we're going to stay where we are. Inflation came in a little bit high. Inflation is still over 3%. Inflation is not coming down. So the Fed will just keep doing what they're doing. Unemployment is not going up. Again, staying where it is. So everything is business as usual. Like, I don't see any reason why the Fed should pivot what they've been doing. But the hardest thing to do is nothing. So the Fed may want to do something because they don't want to do nothing. But in general, I think they're not going to do anything on this, at the next meeting.
Told from the perspective of CPI numbers, I mean, they were not majorly off from expectations, like 0.1% here and there. Do you think that it's still going to play on the Fed's mind, or it's basically in that error mark where you have that limited deviation from the expected number?
I mean, I think it was in line. I think everything's been in line with what was expected. The numbers are not improving in the favor of the Fed lowering the rate. So if unemployment spikes, if inflation drops, I think these are the biggest metrics. Unemployment spiking way up, stock market crashing, and inflation numbers dropping significantly. I think only under those conditions would the Fed consider dropping the rate.
All right. So, Tone, finishing off on gold, what are you expecting from gold? How do you see gold right now? We basically have created new highs on gold, like we have been seeing it. But in the last couple of days, the price action is not looking so bullish.
Really? With gold, I've been mostly looking at the weekly charts, not the daily charts, and the weekly charts still looks bullish. Let me look at the daily. I actually have not paid attention. Maybe the daily hit an MRI top a few days ago, and ironically it did. Wow, I actually had no idea. So the March 8th daily high in gold was an MRI top. Today is the 4th day of the 1 to 4 candle correction. And today we're flipping the count to negative. So tomorrow, if gold goes down, it will create a red star candle. If it goes down significantly, it'll create a red star candle. If it's a consolidation candle, then we'll have to wait till Monday. But I think on Monday, we will know if gold will continue going down or if the 1 to 4 candle correction is over and gold's going to start going to the upside. Wow, I always look at gold. Well, not always, but I haven't been streaming on my channel much. I'll probably do a stream on my channel tomorrow. But man, it would have been nice to catch the MRI top in gold on the 8th of March. Had no idea until I just checked it. Because the weekly charts they were still bullish. So I remain bullish on gold for the rest of the year, unless something changes. I think gold will hit 3,000 sooner than later.
Cool. That's it from me, Tone, for today. Shorter space. It was midweek. But yeah, so last thing which I basically mentioned in the topic list is 2024, the year of bull. I know you're on with me on this. You agree with me on this. But yeah, after today's 1 day's price action, after weeks and weeks of upside, are you happy with how all the markets have performed. And do you still agree to that point that this is the year of the bull?
Yeah, I still believe this is the year of the bull.
Cool. I knew this is going to be a short one, but I was given this like a topic from the team. I'm like, oh, year of the bull. I'm like, guys, this is not going to work out. I know it's the year of the bull. Tone knows this is the year of the bull. Everyone knows that. But yes, I still had to ask. Otherwise, my team would have killed me. But thanks a lot, Tone. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for talking to us. We will be looking to do the space over the weekend, guys. I will get in touch with Tone and the other speakers. It will be a political space. So Fin Summit will only be there as a moderator. We will not be most likely participating in that, but we'll be the moderators so that the